What is up, everybody? Just a little disclaimer before we actually get into the real video. But if you want to participate in the One Piece Burning Blood tournament happening May 21st before the Zone Gaming Go, all you have to do is register with me on the Discord channel or put a message in the comments below. All you have to do is give me your PSN name and I'll send a friend link to you on PlayStation. It is on PlayStation, by the way. I forgot to mention that, but you can do that. It starts at 11 CST and it's going to be on a Saturday, I believe, in case you guys didn't know. 11 CST is our time for America. Please look at your time to figure out what is your actual time frame if you live in a different country. Enjoy the video. Hello everybody, welcome back to another character guide video. My name is Silvokiji&Rohawk, and this is the Zone Gaming Go. Today we're going to be talking about Eneru, or Enel, how you want to pronounce his name, and One Piece Burning Blood. Now this character has not been featured as a guide at all throughout the Zone Gaming Go history. Now he does have two specialized videos up on the channel in the guide section talking about two of his moves, like the infinite he can do, as well as his drum ability. Now, so if you haven't actually looked at any of my guide videos, let me go ahead and tell you exactly the rundown of what we actually talk about. We talk about the A combos the character can utilize. We talk about all their individual moves and why they may have them. We talk about pros and cons of the character, to raise their point value, their role, stuff like that. And we talk about a little bit of the combos that basically you can kind of do with that character. Now, if they don't have combos, we'll talk about setups. Now, a new thing that I'm going to be doing too in this guide section video is that we're going to be talking about the supports. Not recommended supports, but, like, you know, some supports that may work well with the character, as well as some partners that may work well with the character as well. There's special traits like passes, basically mostly everything except for like how to play the character really well. I'm here to educate you, not to like make you God status, even though technically his full name is God Enel. Now, first off, point value. This character is 2,500 points. He's a Logia based character, all around type. This is by the game. In my understanding, for where I see him in terms of tournament play, this is also a new thing, is that I see him as a specialized pick, a starter type character. What we call them before, I believe we called them, I think we just call them starters. Either starters or, I forgot the actual name for it. Maybe they are starters. But he's a starter range type character, which is unusual. I can't say unusual because I use Gecko in that same way. I will say, first of all, that I extremely hate Eneru only because whenever I fight him, I always have Gecko, so I constantly go through a ranged battle with this monster, and it's hard to fight him because he's a Logia-based character with ranged moves. He is highly evasive, he relies a lot on ranged attacks, so he's very, you know, he has a weakness to Conqueror's Haki, but we kind of get into that in a minute when we actually talk about all his moves. So we're going to talk about his A combos, and there's not a lot actually. He's not a very complimentary character. This character focuses primarily on ranged combat and setting up. So this is his full A combo damage. So we got 6 hits, ending in glue, or well, technically 7 hits in total, but it ends in glue patenting. Hopefully that's how you pronounce that. I hope that's how you pronounce that. But yeah, you know, it's just that type of damage. It's a physical move. I will have to say that it is edge, so it's like a sharp move here. So Buggy can probably Logia a little bit of it. He's not going to Logia the sparks. So it's just the actual spear part that he could potentially Logia. So I will say this. This is like one of the sad things I really dislike about Enel. But he doesn't have any A combos really that actually hit. Every single one of his moves can be used in a combo. So let's kind of go over exactly. Let me show you. See, like you can use the Hino on the first hit, but it's not going to actually connect as a combo. You can do the third hit. Third hit will connect though. So fourth hit will connect, but you can't do it on the fifth hit. Nothing can be done on the fifth hit. So Hino works from hit number 3 and hit number 4. So we got A3 and A4. Those are the only ones that he actually has for Hino. Now, Gloom Paddling works for every single one of his A combos. So even after you get done with the 4, you can do it. Now I say every one of them, but every one of them but the fifth, after the fifth hit. That's a no-go. So this is basically going to be your heavy-duty move. This is going to be your mix-up move here. Is your Gloom Paddling, because it can be done in after every single one of his A's besides his A5, which is going to lead to his instant ender anyway. So when you're actually playing as him and you're focusing on that A combo there, and you don't have access to your range moves, you get too close. One of the key parts is to kind of just do it. Do it whenever you feel like it's right. Like since you can basically do it after A1 through 4, you can do it as a very good mix-up tool against your opponent, because they're not going to know which one. They're going to have to guess 1 through 4. If your opponent is constantly mashing, just go ahead and just release it out of the blue just to knock them out and everything. It works primarily pretty well. Also, that move is also potentially an infinite as well, so if you do start it in a combo, there's a potential that you can cause an infinite with it, because it also works as a pick-me-up from the air. If you want to know more about that, there's a video in the channel in the guys section, which literally has a nail on it laying down. Click on that and it'll take you to what you need to find out, or a little clip basically. Okay, so yeah, those are all of his A combos. Now his range attack as well as his guard break can be used in his combo as well, but just like Hino's A through 2 as well as the El Tor, they cannot be used in a combo potential, meaning it won't actually link, they'll just be separated. So I'm gonna guess if your opponent is expecting you to do a Gloom Paddling on block, so if your opponent is blocking here, it's a good idea to actually just go out and go El Tor. El Tor having about a second or so delay, but if you have drums, it's actually faster, and so that way you can kind of like cause the pressure of your opponent and keep going. Your opponent is going to get punished for blocking, basically, in this category. You can just keep on chipping them away with these El Tors, and when you don't feel like fighting anymore, you can just dash away and get out of there. This is like a good way to kind of like mitigate how much resources used up in a encounter up close, because when an L's primary goals is to actually stay as far away from his opponent as possible, so you can chip him down, cause that ranged combat damage, and just like win over walled by that. Okay, so now that we talked about the A combos, let's just move on to his range attacks, guard breaks, the works basically. So his range attack is, it's a little combo here. It's like a sweep and then a slap. Now this does work on blocks, so if your opponent does block the sweep, they will get hit by the other move, and you can also do it without it. So this is like one of those things where it's pretty cool. Like if your opponent literally forgets, like, oh, you can do the secondary move, you can just pull it out of your head, just like right there out of nowhere. And it's a pretty good lunge too that he actually kind of goes through with that range attack. It's the same thing. It's basically the same as eating the combo, so either way you're gonna get this really cool motion. Now I want to say this right now, but when Enel doesn't have any devil fruit, like if he's basically getting hit by Blackbeard, Jinbei, not Perona. Who's the other one? Blackbeard, Jinbei, Smoker Marineford, or Garp support. If he doesn't have a devil fruit ability, that's probably this right here. Not probably. This is definitely going to be your main damage ender at that point. I will say though, you can use your little specials on it, so that's good. That's really cool. I mean, you can do it after the little sweep here, or you can do it on the slam. Like El Tor, it's not going to work, but it will work on setup. It's really cool. Just kind of show you all the different variations that you can possibly do with this beautiful range attack. So that's if you actually had devil fruit. Now, most of the time, you're not going to be doing that if you have devil fruit, because it's an up close move, and Inaru's not really up close. But yeah, okay. So moving on to his range attack, his guard break. My bad. So his guard break is extending. Press his guard break button, extends the staff. Does a decent amount of damage and does a very good stagger, allowing you to switch into another player or let our teammate do a ton of damage right back at him. It's really well done. I just love it. I love the guard break. Now he can't do anything afterwards, of course. It's a guard break, but the fact that it's such a good stagger and it's pretty good in terms of like speed. It's not too fast, but it's not too slow. It's decent, and it's very good extending. So if your opponent underestimates how far he is from you, or she from you, it's going to do a great deal of damage when connected with a partner. Now, if you just do it raw, I mean, yeah, you got it. You can do something, but it's not going to be like the potential what Nell can actually perform. It's more like a stop or get off me tool there, basically. So for his heavy is is pretty slow. Basically shocks his opponent right there. Okay, so this move is like I said, it's the slowest move he has, but it's also one of the most damaging moves he has without drum setup, and what special moves being used. So it's pretty powerful in that regard, but it's not something you're going to be doing all the time because, like I said, it's up close. But it does have a potential to do a ton of damage in one of his setups, or what we're going to call traps. He nails traps in a few phases. Okay, so now that we worked up his range attacks and his guard break and heavy guard break, we're gonna move on to his running attack. Running attack is similar to his guard break. Use the staff again. That's a stab, good stagger. Now the thing about this is that when he actually performs this, he really can't do much of anything to the opponent in terms of what he can, wants to do. So you're gonna want to use that gloom paddling. You're probably gonna set up El Tor. Probably set up your drums, which we will discuss in a second. Why you want to set up your drums, and like kind of give your space. There's a lot of decision making for Manel is going to be if you want to set up your drums now or if you want to do it later and back your opponent away, because you don't want to set up in their face, especially if they have a hockey type character or any character that can get rid of your ability, because once that happens you're pretty much sitting duck because you're not going to be able to use your drums, you're not going to be able to use your aggressiveness, you're not going to be ranging your opponent to death. Okay, so next up here we have his jumping attack. So his first jumping attack is a nice little sweep right here. This is going to be his cross-up combo here, or cross-up jumping attack. Now, it has a little bit of float to it when he actually performs it, but, overall, it still works for Enel, and he can potentially do something big off of it when he's switching to a partner, because after, like, a stagger or anything like that, he really can't do anything super damaging. Like, you're thinking about heavy, no. You're thinking about going to your ultimate, no. It's not enough space, and you probably just kind of want to use it for, like, get away from me, and just use it as escape away. You're going to be doing this a lot. Just pointing out that. Okay, so his jumping unique, though, is another floating one. This is a very good extender. It's also kind of a good anti-air, too, if your opponent's jumping in the air. I say anti-air because when you actually hit your opponent, you can see how Enel, like, just kind of floats. This is kind of only if he actually... I think this is only if he actually doesn't hit his opponent. He'll just float. So this kind of works a good, like, just kind of switching it up, because your opponent's just trying to hit you with a range attack. This kind of works wonders on that. Okay, so all of that was basically generalized with Enel. You can see that a lot of his close range moves here are pretty one hit, and they do a little bit of stagger, but they're not really for him. They're for the other person coming in, which is that where he comes in as a little helper. He's primarily used as a starter type character, so that way he can come in, do some chip damage, and bring another person in. But on some occasions, he is used as a carry or anchor, which a lot of people actually use him in as a starter / anchor position. Okay. So next we have the favorite thing here, is his unique button. Now, before we actually get into his unique button, I want to discuss a very cool passive he actually does have. This is going to be a little disclaimer here. Now, Enel's does have Logi, but his Logi can be broken easily by Luffy in one hit because he made a rupture. This is canon to the television show, or the anime series, I mean. And so, when it comes to, using this Logia button, instantly broken by every single Luffy that exists. So, that's it. That's a disclaimer. Next up, unique. So his unique basically is these 4 drums you see before you. The more drums he's charged up, the faster his special attacks become, and the stronger they actually become. So you see an El Tor right here. That was first level El Tor. Now here's technically that was 0 level El Tor. This is first level. This is second level El Tor. See the damage kind of increasing there. This is level 3. And then we're gonna show. I don't know how to do drums correctly. So I know you can do it by rhythm. You can go bam, 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 or whatever. And this is basically level 4. At level 4, every single one of his specials actually change. Okay. Now the thing about that, we don't really want to get into every single one of his specials though. About like. Right now, so what we're going to do is that we're going to do them one at a time and then go to his unique version, so that way we can kind of get the most of it. So let's go ahead and just kind of show you Mama Reagan. I remember Ragan. Big damage on that move compared to regular El Tor. So the pros and cons using El Tor. So El Tor is the most used move that this character actually has. This is kind of like his gap move. This move is using to really put pressure on your opponent while they're taking it or they doing it on block. It basically does a little bit of damage, and then it does a little aftershock where it just kind of decimates, and that's where you see the opponent getting knocked down on the ground. L-Tor is an amazing move. You're going to be doing a lot. Can't be Conqueror's Haki, can be Logia, so don't expect to abuse it as a character that has those properties, because they can get out of it and they can potentially stop it. Now, Conqueror's Haki character will beat the crap out of an L. Like, it's a bad matchup, regardless, because a lot of his moves and stuff are basically projectiles. A lot of what he does is a projectile. You're not going to be able to set up anything with a Conqueror's Haki at full bar. Okay, but when L-Tor actually goes to Mama Ragen, it's a huge field. Let me go show you the field real quick. Okay, so let's see. Let me see if I can do this. I can't do it. I'm just not going to do it. Oh, there's one. Okay, so here's Mama Ragen. Look at that huge field. That's a big move. That's one of the biggest moves in this game. Okay, now we're gonna go to Hino. So Hino is an eagle that flies forward as your opponent. Now, just like L-Tor, you get drums. You can load it up, make it stronger, and then it'll become something else. So let's go ahead and charge it up. I mean, I'm trying to do it, but it's just hideous. I know the other pronunciation for this guy is Jamal. Jamal Berry. Okay. But this produces a giant dragon that continuously goes towards your opponent. Now, the really cool part about the dragon is that it's a constant hit. So, here we go. I messed up here. I meant to show you the guard. Okay, so what I mean by it's a constant hit, I mean your opponent, if they start blocking it, they're going to keep blocking unless they unblock. But it's going to follow you, so you can actually get the dragon to do a back hit on them, because it's based on your view, which is really cool. So it's only going to be blocking, only going to be looking at you because of you. But if you actually go around the character, you can potentially make your opponent, even when they're blocking, turn around, get some little bit of damage off of them, and go a little combo. It's not going to be a lot. You're not going to be able to do a lot with it, but you can get your opponent on the nick of the end of the dragon because it does additional hit. Okay, there we go. That's just something special that I just looked at. So a lot of things Anel punishes you for with his powered up versions is blocking. If you block them, he will make you pay for it. Like if you do Mama Reagan here, this is one of his traps that I'm about to display. You do Mama Reagan, he's gonna block. Okay. Do your heavy. You can just mess it up. Now you can get up a little closer and do it a little bit faster, and you'll be able to get the heavy and the Mama Reagan off, which is a ton of damage. It's big damage. So let's see if we can actually do it better this time. Because that was me. This is probably killing a lot of people. Like, oh, why can't you do drums correctly? I'm sorry, that sucks. I still didn't do it again. It's the pushback. Okay, maybe the wall will help. Oh, well, you know. Okay, but I did it right before. No, I just can't do it right here. Okay, it's a little bit of damage. Just a little bit. I don't know. I'm not going to keep trying it over and over again to try to get the same effect I did before. It's just not going to happen. But just know that it's possible. If you want to try it, you can try it in training mode. Okay, so Hino is basically used for area control. One of the things you want to do is kind of pop out L-Tor, go for Hino, just kind of like, just have fun with it. You can do Hino in the air, you can do L-Tor in the air, and you can do compatible in the air, just a side note. And it's just super good to kind of use a cycle of those moves, because Hino kind of has a little bit of a tracing ability. So if your opponent does try to avoid it, especially big characters, they're going to get nicked. It's unavoidable, honestly, for big characters. They're going to get hit. It's really upsetting how Anel destroys giant characters. I'm just like, it's very upsetting. It's almost criminal, actually. Like, it shouldn't even be a thing. But every giant character but Whitebeard. And Akuma kind of stands a little bit chance because of teleport. Keko, same thing, teleport. But Eneru can always special movement. So it's whatever. Okay, so Gloom Paddling, when it actually gets powered up, it becomes a stronger version of itself. But first off, it's this you know, this little additional move, you know, when you enhance it, it does get a little bit faster, does a little bit stronger, and like I said, you can actually cause a little bit of additional effect if you get the right angle on certain battlefields, or certain fields, except the circle ones don't have to work for you. You can actually cause a little infinite with the goon paddling, similar to that Jinbei one that I mentioned a long time ago. I can't remember the name, but Brickfist. Okay, so when enhance, let's go enhance it. I don't play the character enough to learn it, so you know, whatever. Is Kitan, whatever. So big damage. It's very reliable. It's probably the most reliable one you have because Gloom Paddling can link with every single one of your A1s except A5. So it can do a lot of damage, basically, at that point, combo-wise. Mama Reagan is a good setup. Hino is a good keep me away, as well as abuse. If you get that dragon off, like I said, even on block, you can turn your opponent around, or you can just keep charging your drums while they're blocking it. They can't do nothing about it, or you can go in while they're blocking the dragon if they're low on HP, and hit them with the guard break. You have all this access to punishing people from blocking. It is ridiculous. I hate that. I hate him so much, but you know, you do what you do. Okay, so we mentioned before there was a few traps. We already showed you the trap with the Mama Reagan. I already showed you the dragon trap there. The other trap revolves around him using his awakening, but so we'll get to that a little bit later. But we want to discuss another thing. When he gets all 4 of these drums loaded up, it turns into heart massage. Meaning, when this character is defeated, if all 4 drums are charged up, he will come back. He is one of the only 2 characters in the game that has a move that brings him back to life, technically giving him a 4th character, or giving your team a 4th character, the other character being Buggy, in case you guys didn't know. So, 4 drums loaded up. If you die anytime while those 4 drums are loaded up, you will come back to life. So sometimes, you know, you got to make that decision. If you want to just do it, do a lot of damage to your opponent, or you just want to, like, you know, wait till you just beat the crap out of your opponent until you come back. And Heart Massage also does a little mini hit as well, so your opponent can get hit by the actual electrifying pulse that comes out when you're being revived. Okay, so we discussed unique, specials, all that, all the nitty gritty. Let's go into these unities. So let's go ahead and increase the burning gauge here, so we get the unity chain out. So his unity chain is a one-hitter. He comes in, does a little stab. There you go. There's the up case. You can bring another character in after that, like Kuma or somebody, to knock him in the air. Characters with good stagger special or jump attacks or jump uniques, is mainly jump attacks are going to do it. Work really well against that Eneru unity chain. Okay, so his only unity chain starter is his Gloom Paddling. Now, I don't want to say that Kitan becomes a... Because it has to knock him away, right? No, it's not. It's not. It's not. Good drop, though. It's potential there. Kakurasaki combo afterwards? No, you have to... I'm thinking already while I'm doing a video, my bad. Okay, so yeah, that's his only unity chain starter there. So as you can see, even though he's technically a starter character that people mainly use him for, he doesn't really have a lot of starting potential, and for the most part, he's going to be in the whole time. Like, this character is going to be in. It's just how he is. Nobody wants to switch him out. Okay, so let us look at some, you know, low-level pros and cons before we actually move on to his ultimate. So one of the big pros here is that he's a ranged combat. He has a lot of range moves. He's very evasive. He has very agile. He loves chaos. A lot of his things create a lot of chaos. So when this guy's in the field, you're just going to be seeing shit everywhere, like everywhere. Cons, he is weak at level 0. His combat damage is really low. I mean, despite him being very successful in terms of competitive and tournament play, most of the time that's because the drums are being loaded. But at level 0, if you're not utilizing your drum ability, you're not really utilizing it to the fullest. Projectile Reliant, like I said before, Kakurasaki characters can easily reflect them, and the reliance on Devil Fruit. Blackbeard, Garp, Jinbei, Smoker Marine 4, Garp support, lose that ability, he's going to get his butt kicked. I've seen so many Nails lose their Devil Fruit, and it was just KO for them. And it's a big deal, especially when he's fighting against a character that's clearly faster than him. Without that Logia, without that evasive teleport, he is a sitting duck. Or if you break the Logia, there's another way to do it as well, of course. Okay, so well, I said ultimate, but let's talk about the specials. So Logia button here, electrifying, that's basically what it is. You know, he's like that. That's fine. Everybody, we would discuss Logia over and over again. You pretty much know the gist of it. He takes damage, can't get hurt, yada yada yada. But that's not why he has this. It's the special movement, which is godlike. Look at where he is, and look at where he teleported. Now, please know that it takes half his bar, because most teleports are huge, but it's a fast running style projectile that has a lot of, not a lot of, but it has little, what's the word? Not stun time. Stagger time? I don't know what to call it. I'll say stun time. Stun time into actually doing more actions is super good, super fast, and this is the move you're going to be doing a lot with El Tor, Hino, teleport when the opponent gets too close. Let's do the El Tor. Let me charge up a little bit. Let me do a little bit of evasive moves. Your opponent's just going to get ransacked repeatedly by projectiles. Let me just try to drum out just to be out. It's just ridiculous. This is what you're going to be getting hit by. It's complete chaos, especially utilizing that evasive. Now, when you're playing as a Nell, though, you're going to have to focus a lot on that bar because, you know, you only get 2 unless you're letting it charge when you're actually playing. So you're going to have to utilize that Logia off and Logia on, especially when you're fighting against a hockey type character. You're going to have to think about that and utilize it as much as you can in terms of like evading, because you don't want to get stuck in a situation where you're playing against a character who's close combat like Silvo and you're just like getting smacked against a wall. You need to do that evasion, and the thing about it is a teleport, which means you can get behind your opponent too. There's no need for you don't need space to do it or anything like that. It's a super fast reacting teleport that gets you behind your opponent if you're stuck against a wall. So if you have bar, utilize it, but be careful, because if you press it at the wrong time and you end up getting broken, you're a sitting duck, because that's the move Nell uses to get away from people. Okay, ultimate, he goes into Amaru. This form I remember from One Piece Grand Adventure. I love it. It's amazing. Let's focus on his attacks here. First attack is, I call it Stabby. I don't know why I looked at it like I was going to actually do the name of it, but you can do like a 2 combo hit from it. And here you go. Your unique move is a basically slap. This is a range move, so your opponent cannot sidestep this crap. You can actually do it, and then you kind of stab your opponent afterwards just for the heck of it, because they might get up fast enough. And then you have the guard breaker. This is a guard break. It's not a heavy, so you basically are not going to turn, but your opponent is going to get hit by it if they just sit there. Now, just like Frankie and just like Gear 4 Luffy, he has an ultimate while in this form because he transformed immediately into it. So when it's Raigo, this is a good, slightly AoE move. He can pretty much hit from multiple distances. It does decent damage, not a big amount. He's a giant character after all, but it's decent. And so now we're going to focus on his trap. So one of his traps he can do, actually, is he charge up your drums. You can just hear me do it here. Charge up drums. We're going to go ahead and make sure we do it on block. Actually, no, we're not going to do it on block. We're not going to do it on block. We're not going to do it on block. We're going to show the action form here. Okay, so this is the first one here. Do Mama Reagan. Your opponent, of course, could sidestep here and actually like try to avoid this ultimate, but this ultimate, like I said, is kind of an AoE effect. So your opponent tries to actually dodge it. You're going to take a ton of damage. Look at that damage, though, from a direct hit from Mama Reagan, as well as the ultimate almost killing Ace. So at +2, that would be a deadly combo to actually suffer from. Now, it's very situational, so you're not going to get it off like all the time, because let's face it, that's just not how it is. But it's there and it's apparent. Now, saying before, you could potentially do the dragon and then do your awakening here, but you won't get the damage. So this is a good way to kind of say stop blocking, and if they do actually try to get up, you can go for a little stabby stab and everything like that. But most of the time, one of the ways to connect the Nell's ultimate is to basically do your guard break and then just go with the ultimate. That's kind of like the best basic method for actually hitting it. But mentioning before, like super deadly. Now let me see if this works, because I'm one of those people that has to see this. Even though I'm recording, I just want to see if this works. Because I just saw it and I just wanted to know. I wanted to see the range on this. I don't think he actually can reach that far, but... Huh! Never mind! That's a combo. Never seen that before, but it's there. So you can start a combo from 4 drums of the Hetan, go to your awakening while it's being processed and ult, and +2, that's a kill. That's insane. I am done. That's basically it, guys, for the Enel video. I think we pretty much discussed everything we need to discuss in terms of his guard break, special movements, all that kind of stuff. His flash counter is his guard break, and his flash guard is just a normal flash guard, so nothing there. The wrap-up statements of Enel is that, like I said, I hate fighting this character because whenever I fight him, I'm always fighting him with Gecko, so it's always a fight between these two ranged characters, and I'll be struggling, but you know, it is what it is. If you have any questions regarding Enel or like any other character featured in the guide video, or if you want me to feature more, actually stop. I know what I want to add. So if you're wondering what support you want to use with Enel, or you basically want to have an idea what you want to put out here, some basic support that you can utilize is Dragon, Kobe, and Beepo. But if you want to be a little experimental and a little bit specialized, you can go with Laban, Cammy, Trable, Rayliv, Virgo, or Leo, going for a more defensive-oriented Enel and trying to hit your opponent with all these beautiful range attacks. Now, if you want to play as specific partners, or you want to know a little bit about some other partners you can use with Enel to unlock that true potential, for some common ones, we got Whitebeard, Garp, and Kuma for links and everything like that. And then for specialized ones, you know, chosen by myself, we got Blackbeard, Gecko, Smoker, and Jinbei. Like, you know, if you can't beat your enemy, be thy enemy. You know, that's why Blackbeard's up there. So, yeah. I think we're done now. Completely done. I hope you guys enjoyed this guide video for Enel, and hopefully you learned something from this video. It's a pretty cool character, despite my hatred for him in my very soul. Enjoy playing One Piece Burning Blood.